After the Congress, is now the turn of Trinamool Congress Chief Mamata Banerjee, who has hit out at the government over the recent developments within the CBI and the crackdown on the two top officers of the investigating agency. The Chief Minister of West Bengal calls the decision and the move unfortunate. She has put out a tweet, and I quote, "CBI has now become the so-called BJP Bureau of Investigation." Now, this tweet comes after Rakesh Asthana and Alok Verma both have been stripped of their charge and responsibility. Rakesh Asthana, in fact, had been probing the Narda and the Sharda scams against Mamata Banerjee as well. Ashutosh Mishra joins us for more on this. And Ashutosh, the Congress, the opposition, they now are saying that there is a serious credibility crisis in the CBI and are even asking the government to clear the air on this entire matter.
Absolutely, and the whole saga, the mess that has been seen in the CBI has given a trigger to the opposition parties, and it is not only the Congress, the left parties, the TMC. You have seen the Mamata Banerjee calling it the BJP Bureau of Investigation. You have seen Arvind Kejriwal, and very interestingly, his own office and the principal secretary were raided by CBI. So he's also putting up the question that it is a Rafale deal that concerns the government, is trying to prevent a probe. At the same time, you heard the CPIM General Secretary Sitaram Yechuri questioning that was there some sort of cover-up by the government, as Alok Verma was asking for some papers with regards to the Rafale jet deal is concerned. So this whole saga is now given opposition. What it seems, the opposition trying to take this, the whole issue on the street. And very interestingly, when there are elections around the corner, 3 assembly states elections are scheduled. Then nation is heading towards general election. So while all this being seen, the government is actually going to face a crucial time. And this afternoon, when there is a briefing or the cabinet briefing, we'll also have to see whether the union ministers, Arun Jaitley, Ravi Shankar Prasad, who will be addressing the press, whether they are going to respond to this or not, because so far there has been no answer from the government as far as this whole, the CBI drama is concerned. Avantika.
Absolutely, and just imagine the situation. You have two top officers of the CBI accusing each other of massive corruption and blaming each other of having vested interests. The other breaking news coming in on this developing story is the CBI now constituting a new fresh team. Now this team is going to be looking into the allegations against Rakesh Asthana. The new probe team constitutes 3 members. That's the SP Satish Dagar, Acting Joint Director V. Murugusan, and DIG Tarun. I'm going to go straight across now to Manish Pandey for more details and updates on this new team that has now been formed to look into the allegations against Rakesh Asthana. Manish, over to you. Tell us more about this new team.
Yeah, well, the new team comprises of 3 officers. One is Satish Dagar. He is SP. He was posted in Chandigarh, and he was also looking after the Sacha Sauda case. The second officer is V. Murugusan, who is acting joint director as of now, and the third officer is Tarun Gauba, who is the DIG. Now these officials are someone who were never close to either Verma camp or Asthana camp. So that is a new development which has taken inside the Central Bureau of Investigation as far as Asthana case is concerned. Now the new interim director has also made one thing very clear, that the Asthana case will be on fast track, and that is why he has made this new team to investigate Asthana's case. But apart from these 3 officers, there are 13 officers who have been transferred from the Central Bureau of Investigation headquartered to the different units, and there have been few officials whose roles have been changed from as of now. The Central Bureau of Investigation is in crisis, and that is why the interim director, once he took the charge around 1:15 in the midnight, he came to the office. He sealed the 11th floor of this building, and then there were searches conducted inside the offices of Alok Verma and Rakesh Asthana, and the sensitive documents were seized. But now the 11th floor and 10th floor, both the floors are open. The director has made things very clear to all the officials that those who are probing Asthana case, they have to be impartial, and those officers who are looking after Asthana case or Verma's case, they will not intervene in any of the investigation. Back to you.
Absolutely. The new interim chief having a mammoth task at his hands to, have a fair and transparent investigation process against both Rakesh Asthana and the CBI director, the former CBI director Alok Verma. The government has also stepped in, the government asking both of the top officers to proceed on leave. Both of them, the CBI director Alok Verma and Special Director Rakesh Asthana, have now been asked to step aside in the wake of this unending crisis that has hit the CBI. The government has appointed CBI Joint Director M. Nageshwar Rao. He's taken over as the interim chief. He has assumed charge as the CBI chief with immediate effect. The government has taken this decision in consultation with CVC. And you have also the CBC analysing the charges against both of the top bosses of the CBI, advising the government to let Alok Verma and Rakesh Asthana step aside from their respective duties. Now, Munish Pandey was just telling us that the 10th and 11th floor of the CBI quarters has also been unsealed. An investigation into the bribery cases against Rakesh Asthana has already been fast-tracked. He was just telling us about the three new member team that has now been formed to look into the allegations against Rakesh Asthana. Now, the decision was taken by the Central Vigilance Commission. In fact, the PMO consulting the CVC in the wake of this unending crisis. But the dramatic move comes a day after the Delhi High Court had granted Rakesh Asthana protection from arrest till Monday in the Moin Qureshi bribery case. Alok Verma and Rakesh Asthana have been at loggerheads, levelling corruption charges against each other. Alok Verma, in fact, has now gone ahead. He has now moved the Supreme Court, challenging his removal. Joining him is senior lawyer Prashant Bhushan, who has also moved the Supreme Court against Alok Verma's removal. I'm going to go straight across now to India Today's Rahul Srivastava for more on this. And Rahul, what a mess of affairs. You have both of the warring officers being asked to step aside, the government stripping them of their responsibilities, and, an unrelenting Congress lashing out at the government, holding them responsible for the unending crisis.
I think the government is saying that it gave a long rope as far as the state of affairs in the CBI is concerned. But it can definitely be called that it allowed the issue and the crisis inside the CBI to fester too long. Signs of strain within the CBI and the kind of political machinations which drive the CBI had impacted a very critical case regarding Mr. Vijay Mallya, that just before the 9-bank consortium went to the court challenging that he should be arrested for recovery of money, he fled the country primarily because sometime in 2015 November, the lookout circular against him was diluted, and till now the CBI has no answer that how did that happen. This is the kind of things happen if there is a war within an agency or the agency is being pressurized by the government from external forces. And that is why, after allowing it to fester, the government was virtually had its back against the wall. It had no option but to send both the officers on leave so that they can be set aside and a fair probe into the charges launched, with both of them saying both of them are corrupt. Both of them have accepted 2 crores. The accused being made a complainant to lodge an FIR against the special director. Now, top sources are telling us that yesterday was a very critical day. That's when the government panicked. That while Mr. Asthana had moved the High Court, challenging, seeking the stay from the court that he should not be arrested, at 4 a.m. yesterday, a team of 4-member CBI men reached Mr. Asthana's residence for searching his residence. While he was seeking court intervention, they waited till 4:45 at his house. That close, perhaps, Mr. Asthana came to getting arrested. And that is why the government realized that enough is enough. The CVC, the full Central Vigilance Commission, met yesterday, and in that it was found that since both of them are charging each other, both of them need to be moved aside. The Cabinet Committee on Appointments met, and at 1 o'clock in the night, the Delhi police surrounded the CBI headquarters, another unprecedented happening.
Absolutely.
And after that, Mr. Nageshwar Rao moved in, sealed the rooms, sealed floors of Joint Director, Special Director, Director CBI, and started issuing orders of dismantling old people and old teams handling the cases.
Right, Rahul, just kindly stay on with me. I've just been told that the press conference by the government has already begun. We're just going to cross-check that news, but we've just received information that that important presser is going to begin anytime soon. Yes, there you have the visuals there. You have Mr. Arun Jaitley and Ravi Shankar Prasad both addressing this important presser. Let's listen in.
सबसे पहले मैं आपको इकोनॉमिक अफेयर्स के डिसीजन के बारे में बताना चाहता हूं। आज कैबिनेट ने एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण फैसला करते हुए उत्तर प्रदेश के बहराइच और खलीलाबाद के बीच में ब्रॉड गेज रेलवे लाइन को अप्रूवल दिया है। इस पर टोटल एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट आएगा 4,939 करोड़ रुपए। द टोटल एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट विल बी 4,939.78 करोड़ और ये 2024-25 तक कंप्लीट होगा। लेकिन सबसे बड़ी जो इस प्रोजेक्ट की बात है कि उत्तर प्रदेश के 4 एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट, जिसे आप जानते हैं 115 have been selected, उससे गुजरेगा बहराइच, बलरामपुर।
All right, Ravi Shankar Prasad is just addressing the press conference. He's speaking of other important issues before he speaks on this pressing matter, the ongoing feud between the top 2 officers of the CBI. But what we're going to also do is just play out some graphics just to explain our viewers as to what exactly happened while the nation was sleeping. It was a dramatic midnight action. The government finally divesting the chief, the CBI director Alok Verma, of his charge and also appointing M. Nageshwar Rao as the interim chief. So let's just play out those graphics and show you what exactly happened. This is the kind of infighting that has been going on for the longest time. In a late night dramatic development, it was at about 1 a.m. that you had the Delhi police surrounding the CBI office. That's the time the interim chief, who is M. Nageshwar Rao, he immediately sealed the 10th and 11th floors of the CBI office, and these in fact are the offices of the director Alok Verma and the special director Rakesh Asthana, both in fact who have been stripped of their responsibilities and charge. So it was at 1 a.m. that you have the Delhi police cordoning off the CBI headquarters, an unprecedented move in the wake of the unending crisis, the turf war between the 2 warring officers. 1:15 a.m. was when the senior most CBI officer Nageshwar Rao, who's now been appointed as the interim chief of the CBI, entered the headquarters. At that time, a decision was taken to immediately seal the offices of both the director, that's Alok Verma, and Rakesh Asthana. Just to give you an update also, those offices have now been reopened, but this is the dramatic midnight action that was taken. And then at 1:30 a.m. was when Nageshwar Rao took charge of the keys of the 11th floor of the CBI headquarters. M. Nageshwar Rao, in fact, is the interim director at the time that the country's top investigating agency is facing its worst ever crisis. In fact, M. Nageshwar Rao has already taken charge of his duties and functions with immediate effect. The blame game has already begun. The opposition hitting out at the government, holding them responsible for the present crisis, and the government hitting back, saying that the director, that's Alok Verma, had been given a long rope for quite some time, and this decision had to be taken in consultation, however, with the Central Vigilance Commission. So that is the latest bit of news coming in right now. This presser is happening. It's being addressed by Ravi Shankar Prasad and Arun Jaitley. We are hoping at some time that both of the senior ministers of the government speak up on this unending crisis that clearly has also hit the credibility of the premier investigating agency. In fact, the government's action now, stripping the director and Rakesh Asthana of their duties, has triggered a massive political slugfest. The opposition heading out at the government over CBI director Alok Verma's removal. Both the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party have claimed that the government has illegally axed the CBI chief on false charges. A claim that's also been made by Alok Verma, who says that he is being falsely implicated. He has moved the Supreme Court as well, challenging his removal. Activist and senior Supreme Court lawyer Prashant Bhushan has also slammed the government, claiming CBI chief has a fixed tenure of 2 years under the Lokpal provisions. Prashant Bhushan is moving the Supreme Court against the removal of the CBI chief by the government. The Congress leader Randeep Surjewala has also hit out at the centre, to which BJP leader GVL Narasimha Rao has hit back at Surjewala, claiming that the Congress is only targeting the officers who were investigating the case involving P. Chidambaram, senior Congress leader, and the others as well. Meanwhile, the Trinamool Congress has also waded into this entire controversy. They too have demanded that the centre should come clean on the CBI shake-up. The centre is right now addressing the media. We're hoping to hear from Ravi Shankar Prasad on this pressing matter anytime soon. But in the meanwhile, let's also listen in to what Prashant Bhushan has to say, what he has said about the feuding CBI officials, Alok Verma and Rakesh Asthana, and the government's decision, the government's move to send both the officers on leave. Listen in.
Are you going to challenge it legally? You know, we wake up in the morning to know that the director is gone, special director is gone. What is left of this investigative body?
No, it's the sacking or the removal of the director is certainly totally illegal. The Supreme Court had protected the CBI director from government's power of removal or appointment by saying that the appointment should be made by a collegium of the Chief Justice, Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition. That's how he was appointed. And he can only be removed prematurely. He has a fixed tenure, which is till the end of January. He can only be removed prematurely or even sent on leave prematurely by the same appointing committee if there are disciplinary proceedings against him. But he can't be removed in the manner in which the government has done, and they have appointed an officer with a totally dubious reputation.
Meanwhile, MOS PMO Jitendra Singh, who also holds the portfolio of MOS DOPT, has evaded any question on the recent decision to remove the director of CBI, Alok Verma, and on the question on the present scenario, the crackdown on the CBI. Let's just play the sequence of events and listen in to those questions that was put forth to the minister.
सर रेड हुई है 10वें 11वें सीबीआई के 10वें 11वें मंजिल पर रेड हुई है सर क्या कहेंगे सर सीबीआई के 10वें 11वें मंजिल पर रेड हुई है सर बताएं सर डायरेक्टर चेंज कर दिए गए सर चेंज कर दिए गए सर बताएं सर बताएं प्लीज सर डायरेक्टर चेंज कर दिए सर.
Well, let's also play out the reaction of senior Congress leader Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who a short while ago spoke to India Today on the ongoing internal crisis in the CBI. He said that false charges had been built against the CBI chief. Let's listen in.
This is an absolute terrible can of worms. It's a legal can of worms. It's a political can of worms. And the government is now in a morass. It is now clueless. First of all, after a Hawala judgment, after a Lokpal judgment, after changes in the rules and procedures, I appoint you precisely to insulate you and autonomize you by a Chief Justice of India committee, a LOP committee, and a Prime Minister's committee. How, I am asking you, can you be removed, sacked, or de facto rendered non-functional by being sent on leave? How?
Some other political reactions also coming in this unending crisis that has hit the CBI. Let's just play them out.
Why don't they issue some white paper to let the people know what is happening in the country? Why don't they arrest? Now we are seeing in the TV that CBI is raiding CBI's office. It's very unfortunate. That is the #1 agency of the country. And this is the basic content what we have from this government.
It seems that removal of Verma or stripping him off of all his powers is with a view to prevent further exposure, which would have embarrassed the government. And I think the exposure would have certainly created sensation even for the government, and that is why it seems that the government has tried to abort the whole exercise by sacking him out.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.